Hi, just came in to check on the kids.
Oh yeah, I decided to go sit down and go watch TV in your living room because there's something creeping me out in your room, like something like a statue.
We don't got no statue.
What do you mean? What? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Patrick McCorvey, and today we're reacting to, drum roll please. Who told you? Today we're reacting to Babysitter's Worst Clown Nightmare. I don't know what this is. This is my first time reacting to it, but let's get to it.
Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary?
No, I don't. Why would I?
So a few years ago, there was a pretty well-off family that lived in a really big house in Newport Beach, California. A mother, a father, and two small kids. And one night, the parents decided that they wanted a night out for themselves, so they hired a babysitter. She was maybe about 16 years old. So when the babysitter got there, the parents gave her a little rundown of what to do, and the mom pulled her aside and said, "Once you finish tucking the kids in, do you mind watching TV in our bedroom? The kids have been having nightmares lately and waking up screaming, and our room is right next to theirs, and so it's a lot easier to get to them." "Yeah, sure, I can do that." So the babysitter and the two small children waved goodbye to their parents. So after a few hours of watching TV, it was time for bed, and as she was tucking them in, one of the kids said,
"Please don't let the clown get us."
"Of course I'm not gonna let anything happen to you." So she turned off the lights and went next door to the parents' room like the mom had asked. But the second that she stepped inside, she froze. In the far corner of the room was a clown statue. Just a really lifelike, detailed, creepy ass statue. No wonder these kids have been having nightmares.
No, first of all, there's a clown sitting right there in that corner. Would you be creeped out if you just see this guy right here? Who would want that? Who would want that? Please tell me. Who would want that? That's creepy in my opinion.
She thought to herself. So she went and sat on the bed and tried to watch some TV, but she kept looking over at the statue. Was the statue looking at me like that before? It was way too creepy for her, so she decided to go downstairs to the living room and watch TV there until the parents came back. So she's watching some TV for a while, and then her phone rings, and it's the parents just checking in.
"Hey, we're on our way home. Just wanted to check in and see how things are going."
Everything's great. The kids are all asleep and in bed. I hope it's okay, but I decided to watch TV downstairs instead. Your statue was really creeping me out.
I'm sorry, what statue?
The clown statue?
As soon as you hear that word, out of the house. I don't care. I would have yelled and be like, "Get out the house!" Oh, imagine someone being like, "Hold up, here's the skit." Oh yeah, hello? Oh yeah, I decided to go sit down and go watch TV in your living room because there's something creeping me out in your room, like something like a statue. What do you mean? What?
It's okay, but I decided to watch TV downstairs instead. Your statue was really creeping me out.
I'm sorry, what statue?
The clown statue in your room? It's really creepy, so I decided to leave the room.
Get the kids now.
Wait, what?
Get the kids and get out of the house now. We don't have a statue.
Just then, she heard screams. She dropped the phone and ran up the stairs. The bedroom seemed so much farther than it did before. She opened the door, but she was too late. So apparently there was a little person serial killer that would dress up as clowns. And
First of all, that's ain't even creepy, bro. Like, I need something like creepy, bro. Like at the end, these people just die. Like, is this even a good movie, bro? If I could just click out of here, bro. God. Oh my god. That's it for the video, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you like the video. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. And that's basically it. Peace out, YouTube. I found the next video. 6 minutes, 2 seconds. Let's go.
There's something dangerous abducting children in this area. Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? You've heard of the Slender Man, but have you heard of the tall, slender woman? This next chapter is a Japanese urban legend called Hachishaku-sama, which means 8 feet tall. My grandparents lived in a small village in Japan. Every summer, my parents would take me there on holiday to visit them. The last time I saw them was the summer when I was 8 years old. My grandparents were inside the house and I was playing by myself outside in the backyard. I heard a strange sound. I didn't know what it was and it was hard to figure out where it was coming from. I was looking around, searching for the source of the noise, when I noticed something on top of the tall hedges that enclosed the backyard. It was a straw hat. It wasn't resting on the hedge, it was behind it. That's where the sound was coming from. Then the hat began to move. It stopped at a small gap in the hedge and I could see a face peering through. It was a woman, but the hedges were high, almost 8 feet tall. I was surprised at how tall the woman was. I wondered if she was wearing stilts or some sort of huge high-heeled shoes. Then, a split second later, she walked off and the strange noise disappeared with her, fading into the distance. Confused, I got up and ran back into the house. My grandparents were in the kitchen drinking tea. I sat down at the table and told my grandparents what I had seen. They weren't really paying attention to me until I mentioned that distinctive sound. They both froze. Grandma's eyes grew wide and she covered her mouth with her hand. Grandpa's face became very serious and he grabbed me by the arm. "This is very important," he said, very intensely. "How tall was she?" "As tall as the garden hedge." "Where was she standing? When did this happen? What did you do? Did she see you?" I tried to answer all his questions as best as I could. He rushed out to the hallway and made a phone call. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but after he hung up, he walked out the door. "Grandma, what's going on?" "There's something dangerous abducting children in this area," she said. "We call it Hachishaku-sama. It takes on the appearance of an extremely tall woman and says, in a deep voice. A long time ago, it was captured by monks and they managed to confine it in a ruined building on the outskirts of the village. They trapped it using 4 jizo, small religious statues that they placed at the north, south, east, and west of the ruins so that it could not escape. But somehow, it did. The last time it appeared was 15 years ago. My grandmother said that anyone who saw it was destined to die within a few days. It all sounded so crazy. I wasn't sure what to believe. Just then, my grandpa came back, but with an old woman who called herself Keisan. They took me upstairs to my bedroom and began covering the windows with newspaper, with ancient runes written all over them. Keisan placed small bowls of salt in all 4 corners of the room and a small Buddha figure in the center.
"Soon the sun will be setting, so listen carefully. You must stay in this room until 7:30 tomorrow morning. Do not open this door for any reason."
She placed a bucket in my hands.
"Not even to use the restroom."
My grandparents and Keisan left the room and I locked the door after them. I couldn't believe what was happening. Was I really going to die in a few days? I turned on the TV to try to take my mind off everything and eventually fell asleep. I was awakened around 1 a.m. by a tapping sound on the window. It's probably just a tree or something, I told myself. Then came a knock on the door and I heard my grandpa's voice. "Are you okay in there? If you're scared, I can come keep you company." Hearing his voice was such a relief that without thinking, I rushed over to the door. But something didn't feel right. I looked at the bowls of salt in the room. All 4 of them had turned black. And then I heard the sound again. The tapping on the window continued. I knelt in front of the Buddha and began to pray. I was so terrified and caught up in my chanting that I didn't realize the sounds had stopped. I checked my watch. It was 7:30 a.m. Carefully, I opened the door and ran to my grandparents. We all got in a van and headed straight for the airport. Apparently, there were others who had escaped the grasp of Hachishaku-sama, as long as they never stepped foot in Japan again. So 2 years ago, when my grandpa got sick, he refused to let me visit him. He even left strict instructions in his will to not let me attend his funeral. I couldn't believe that this creature prevented me from saying goodbye to him. So when my grandma called a few days ago to tell me she had been diagnosed with cancer, I wasn't gonna let her stop me from visiting. It's been 10 years, Grandma, and nothing has happened to me. We don't even know if this thing is real. I'm not gonna let it stop me from seeing you.
If you say so, dear.
I love you, Grandma. I'll see you soon. Like this video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to subscribe to Snarl.
I ain't trying to do that, man. Oh, what's up, YouTube? Peace out, YouTube. My name is Patrick McCorvey. Peace out. That's it for this video. I love you guys. Peace out. Woo! Wait, what's up? Yeah.